All right. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming back. I have so many stories to tell. I have actually been off with work. I've been working in all the way down Tauranga, and unfortunately, I have missed a week of trading and the second week of analysis. So today is Wednesday, and instead of doing like a midweek update, I'm actually doing an analysis and just what's gone since I've been gone, just to see where he's at. I'm not really looking for opportunities now. I'm just looking for things that has happened in the time I've been off. I have not checked the trading at all. The one thing I have checked is this trade that I've been holding. Let me put this off because it's funny. Okay, oh, come on, go off. Okay, watch this. I hope it's focused on. We are minus a 1,072,000. This is of course demo account, is not my money. This account, I had $5 million account, as you know, and we went as high as 6,048,000 with it. And then I placed the wrong trade, and funny enough, that Euro USD, when I entered, I knew exactly that is gonna go. I mean, I didn't exactly, but I said that it's gonna go bullish, and actually opposite. I said it's gonna go bearish, but I put a buy in instead of a sell. So how moronic. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But welcome back to the my trading journal. Hopefully, we have some new exciting things to talk about, and I believe we do. I believe we do. So, as you know, the development that I've had was discovering or realizing that the way I was actually analyzing the markets was almost right, but I kept failing. I was dropping to 4 hourly too soon, too early. So what I've really understood was that daily is king. We're looking at daily for the analysis point of view and the reaction point of view, as such, so to speak, in just simple terms. So when in the past I used to look at daily and say, okay, daily is bullish, and just because daily was bullish, I would go to 4 hourly and look for a buy at the area of interest. That's basically how my mind was working. So very important lesson for me was that you don't just look at daily same way you look at weekly. So weekly, you look at weekly and you say, okay, weekly is bullish. So if weekly is bullish, then you're looking at daily. Is daily bullish or is daily bearish? So that's my understanding. Now, what I used to do is, okay, weekly is bullish. I used to go down to daily and say, okay, daily is bullish or daily is bearish but is retracing bullish. And then I would drop to 4 hours to find my entry. But the way I was thinking of it is when 4 hourly has reached the area of interest, then I would expect the move. But that's not how it goes. I mean, it's clear to me that daily is the one that needs to have a reaction of an area of interest, which area of interest is an area around a psychological number that lots of people either drop their holdings or buy new holdings, so kind of, maybe I didn't quite say that right, but you know what I mean, when they buy and then when they sell. Now that psychological number I never really use, but it has an importance because some people, when they enter, not some, most of traders, not myself, when they place an order, and I have seen a lot of online traders, they put their take profits, they walk away, they don't look, but they put their take profits at certain numbers, certain psychological numbers. So I think that's why Alex is always stressing about this psychological number. It just needs to be a round number, not just random. Like, for example, looking at this one here, I mean, it's currently is at 192202. I mean, a price that's more beautiful is 1.93 thousand. That's good. Or 1.94 thousand, or even 4,500. And prices like that. Probably even here, I would say a psychological number would be probably 5,000. What is it? 5,449, 5,000, right about here, if that reaches that. But anyway, so that's where I'm at, and I don't think I'm gonna waste your time tonight with doing too much. Just having a look roughly on 4 hourly to see what happened since I have been here. Now this trade, obviously, since we marked it, we haven't really gone into it, but we marked it. We were waiting for a rejection at this daily area of interest. However, of course, it didn't do that. Based on my previous mindset and logic, I would look at I would look at the market and say, hey, yeah, weekly is bearish and um, daily is bearish, and now we hit this area of interest, and we're gonna see a rejection, and then we're gonna go up. And that's what I basically drew here, but that's not what I should have done. What I should have done is say, look at weekly, and weekly was at that time was obviously bullish, really. Um, it was all the way here, but it was a bullish weekly, which meant the overall direction would have been bullish. But you see, this other movement here was bearish, and then we're going to daily and see on daily that is actually going on a rejection from this area of interest. But the way I saw it back then was obviously not the same I see it now, that it has happened. And it just makes things a lot more clearer now that I see it, because I assumed that area of interest and the EMA has a lot to do with what the market is going to do at that point. But just because it's basically retracing on a bullish weekly bullish, really powerful, right? And it's just finding the bottom of the retracement. So daily was also retracing, and daily retraced, into a more serious area of interest rather than this other one. Now, it is clear to me that every area of interest is important, but what's most important is when you rejecting an area of interest, when you have a resistance, and that's this one here. So every time you reach that area, you will see a reaction from it. Now, where would that stop? I don't know. So I'm going back and I'm looking at it. Now, if you look at this one here, we're rejecting the same area of interest, you see, and then it's come all the way down below this. Now, that indicates to me more likely where the price is going to have a reaction from based on what I know now. But in the past, I would just obviously drop to the 4 hours and kind of say, yeah, oh, this is the area of interest. It's going to reject the EMA, come back up and retest, and it did that, but a lot lower and for a reason, right? And it's going up the way we said it. But if I was to take this trade, for example, there was no entry signal. It would have been a sell entry signal, if anything, having this push to the downside, really, with this original entry signal, which would have in fact worked. This would have been a good entry signal. But anyway, we've changed, so we're now gonna look and see what's happening. For this particular one, I have no interest at the moment. I just need to pay attention and just see what's happening. Daily is currently bullish, weekly is bullish, and is pushing further up. I would say it hasn't really finished doing its thing. Probably is gonna get as high as this, and then potentially see a change again, a change of direction. But yeah, we're just gonna have to watch it. That was GBP AUD, NZD USD. Looking at, let's just have a look at 4 hourly. Now this amazing one here, of course that's what I marked it. This was not a trade that I've taken, but if I did take this trade, it would have been a beautiful trade, absolutely stunning trade. This trade would have given me 1 to 7.6 risk to reward ratio. It's absolutely amazing. And this is something that is actually showing me and teaching me, say, hey, it's not always about risking like a whole lot of money to make a whole lot of money. I think the key to trading finally is kind of starting to make sense to me, is all about consistency. So the more of these you do, the more money you're gonna accumulate. Now, if this trade was to be a wrong trade, I would have lost, say, $50 because that's how much I would have risked $50. But if this trade went good, that would have been $50 times 8. And just for the sake of things, that is 50 times 8, 400, 400, yeah, $400. Now that would have been something nice, right? From 50 to make that. And if that 50 was 100,000, that would have been a $400,000, of course. But that's when you have like a $3 million account and you can risk that. But yeah, the realization is doing this over and over and over again with a small risk, a small amount at risk, like account risk, like maybe 1 to 2%. Doing it constantly enough, by the time you actually get to understand trading and learn trading, you have an opportunity to actually have some money there. Now, for me, I didn't take this one, so I didn't make any money, sadly. But it doesn't matter. Looking at it, I would like to see why it's gone this way. Just to do a bit of an analysis, and we can go back to weekly and see at the time that when we took this trade, this market has broken below this area of interest. Now, this area of interest, it is a pretty respected area of interest, and the other thing too was at the EMA, and it was a bearish weekly, a freshly turned bearish weekly, and it just did what it was supposed to do. You see, weekly has rejected this area of interest, and it just kept on pushing. Going back to daily, daily is done exactly the same thing. This signal at the top here, full engulfing, nice and clean, no wicks. Come back down, small rejection of this area of interest, gone right through, reject this EMA, gone right through, consolidated, and then had a big push to the downside. Just beautiful. I mean, it kind of starts making sense. Looking at this, it does make sense how it moves. You can see how we actually marked this here, this error. That's pretty much what assumption I have made back then. That's pretty much what it did. So the more of these trades I can do, the better. As in, I do the analysis and get them right. It's beautiful if I can. Anyway, enough about that. NZD CAD. Just going back to it a little bit. Sorry. From like a next move on this, I haven't done the analysis. I'm just looking at what we've done. So I won't do the analysis now, so I'm gonna just wait for Sunday. We'll do the analysis on Sunday and just see what opportunities we might have at the time. But I can see here a trend line which has not been obviously respected, which makes me now realize that you can't just have a trend line willy-nilly. It needs to follow something in order to happen, and clearly this was not the case. I would say in order to have a trend line, maybe it's also required a minimum of 3 touches. Maybe I'm just gonna keep an eye on that. But yeah, this trend line is shite, not needed. It clearly gone down. Now we can see this area here at the bottom. How can I do this? Okay, let's do this. You can see this whole area here. It's a zone where the market has often reacted at. So we can see now, what's this? 2025 November. So November 2025, and it's gone through since July now. So it's 7 or 8 months, and it's constantly reacting, which is really highlighting to me that this market is ranging, but is ranging at such a pace. I mean, looking at this is April 25, and it reached the top in June 25. So April, May, June, so 3 months, and then another 3 months. May, June, July, August, November, it's about 6 months to come down to the bottom. And then it took another November, December, January, 4 months to get the top again. what was this? February to 2 months, and then 1 month to get the top, and then 1 month to get the bottom. So it's kind of ranging in between this area of interest and this area of interest. So it is interesting to see. It's possible that we are forming potentially a reversal, but I'm not gonna judge on it yet. I'm just gonna keep an eye and see what's happening. For now, we're just gonna move on and see what else, what other opportunities, what other things have happened while I was gone. NZD CAD. NZD CAD did absolutely nothing what we said is gonna happen. I said basically wait for break and retest before looking for an entry signal on 4 hourly. So just going back to daily for a little bit and looking at this. This just taking back my 3 touches idea. I can dismiss that. Clearly has not happened. It did have 3 touches. It did look like is creating a trend, upwards trend, but it just didn't. It just went down. I mean, even if it did, maybe it did like 1, 2, 3, and that was the last one, and then it just reversed. And that is possible. That is possible. There's other things that I might not know yet. But anyway, the good news is this has done completely opposite to what we said. So if this was a trade that we would have entered in at that time here, would have been an absolute loss. However, I can see based on daily, ginormous rejection of this area of interest. I can see this massive full engulfing, and then I can see this liquidity sweep. So if I was to pay attention, to the market, which would have been nice to do, I would have been able to realize what's actually happening, and perhaps be able to drop at the 4 hourly to find the entry point. Now there's an engulfing candle here, which could have been such a tricky one because if you would have entered it, you would have definitely get wicked out by this other one, which kind of highlights how easy it is to get wicked out. But paying attention to the markets, it kind of makes sense. Now the reversal here at the bottom, when it reached the bottom, this is a beautiful engulfing at daily. Now this to me would have indicated a lot of power being at this level and going back up. That would have been a beautiful trade. But yeah, it's gone, and it has not managed to do what we thought it was going to do. So lesson learned. Next one, AUD USD. Just let's drop to 4 hourly. AUD USD pretty much did what GBP AUD did, and this would have been a beautiful trade if we would have taken it. I mean, that's again 127. Very slow and steady. It's going to daily again, a little bit daily. See, had that ginormous push. Bam, bam, bam. So we can clearly see the trend, bearish. Then we see a break and retest above that, but it did not hold and came down below again and rejected, and is gone down. Right now is obviously at a pretty low point. We're getting pretty close to this, and we can kind of see how untidy this is. I would say this will be just as untidy, and it's gonna probably reverse and just get closer to that balance line before it's gonna do anything else. But we'll just wait and see what's happening this week and do the analysis on Sunday, I should say. Euro AUD, Euro AUD. Just watch for now. Yeah, that was our comment a week before. Just watch for now. Nothing has really happened here. We were basically saying that we're gonna see a bullish push, and we did see a bullish push. It just didn't happen where I wanted it to happen. I would have liked it to happen above this area of interest to give me a signal to go up, but see, clearly I marked this for a sell. And that's because we were rejecting this EMA at the area of interest. It kind of made sense. It's going to have a further push. But again, what I've omitted is the fact that daily was bullish. This was a massive bullish leg. So when you're trading with the trend, the chances of actually being successful increases drastically. And, I can actually see this little line here, which I have even put. It kind of shows a concentration of orders right there. And usually when the market does have a pullback, it would be to that concentration, and then it's going to carry on its own path. So just paying attention to these things would have probably made a difference. I haven't taken this trade, of course, but I think the reason I was missing all these trades was because of this exact thing. I was just doing it wrong and waiting for the perfect signal, and that just never came. It never came. And then when I thought it came, I'm down minus $1 million. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it is what it is. I think doing this is better than not doing it. Now I can see trend lines. What's happening here? Trend lines daily. It does seem that this market is keeping within these trend lines, which is great. Oh, sorry. It's almost 10 p.m. at night. Anyway, we were basically watching closely for a potential bearish move. That's my comment. Bearish move. And this, what has this done? A bullish move. Now, there's two things plausible. Looking at the market, I think I was absolutely thinking that we're not going to break above this area. I can see this full engulfing here. Now that full engulfing would have kind of given me the hint that, hey, we are turning. We're going back down. It was rejecting this area of interest, almost rejecting the EMA. What am I saying? So if it's rejecting this area of interest and the EMA, that would have been a bullish move anyway. Ricky, what the fuck? Yeah, so that's what I mean. You see one thing, you think another thing. So literally, as I was saying it now, it just made sense to me what I was doing, right? But the way I saw it before, I saw it as I marked it as bullish, but I said I am keeping an eye out for a potential bearish move. I guess I said potential, so I'm not gonna be as hard as on me because I said potential. But yeah, for me at that time to actually see a potential bearish move, this should have come down below and retest and then go down. Anyway, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I know what I'm looking for now. Now this potentially is going to obviously reach this trend line. I can see this is quite down. So it's possible. Excuse me. Please forgive me, guys. It's possible that it's gonna stick around there and then come back down, but everything is bullish, so I have no intention believing that is not distracting my face a bit. Yeah, I'm excited actually for Sunday to do some analysis and hopefully start making some money. Make some money. I need to prove if this trading can change my life or not. So far, it's not changing. If anything, it's adding extra layer of stress, frustration, anger. Not the very bad kind, but the kind that you just you hang in there, hang in there, hang in there, try and do your thing. I feel bad that I didn't really do any updates on while I was gone. I did have the surface with me, but honestly, guys, the days have been so busy, raining every day, working outside, doing some bloody gardening, like landscaping, concrete blocks and shit. It was fun, but it was just not easy. And I got home, I was so tired, dehydrated. I actually ended up going to the hospital with fucking dehydration and palpitations and shit. But I'm fine. It's just I've been hydrating. I've been just drinking lots and lots of water. But yeah, it's draining. It's draining and I need to make some money. Start showing that this is working. Now I sound like I'm focused on money, but I'm aware that money is just a tool. My goal is financial freedom, right? Which I know having a lot of money means financial freedom, but as human as I am, it's easy to say make some money because that's what I want, make some money. Anyway, yeah, so this one here has basically carried on just like I marked it, so I'm proud of that. I was expecting rejection of the area of interest and a push up. Now it hasn't quite rejected that area of interest, but it's rejected the one below, which is also beautiful. It did reject a little bit up here. We can see that wick gets pretty low, but not quite what I would have liked to see. But this journal is unforgiving. It writes down everything, the yawns, the swearing, the moves I make. Just remember, guys, I do not edit my videos, so the yawning, the swearing, and all that shit, I'm not gonna take out, because when you're gonna start this, you're gonna do that. So I want you to see what it takes to make it happen. So to me, this is very, very important, because in 10 years, when I'm gonna be billionaire, trading, yeah, see, you have to always manifest. So yeah, in 2 3 years, when I'm gonna be a successful trader, you're looking back and say, hey, how did Ricky make his money? Oh, some I don't know, some firm pay him money to do advertising and shit. But the good news is the videos are there. The videos are there for free. You're not gonna pay for it. It's just to show you how many videos it took to become a successful trader. Even if you just count the videos, it's usually 3 videos per week. This is gonna be a little bit odd one, because it's one just this Wednesday. I don't think I'm gonna do one on Friday, because I have no trades to enter. And you're gonna count 3 per week roughly. It's 500 videos. That's close to, what, that 500 videos, 3 per day, per week, sorry. What's that, 52 times 3? That's 156 videos roughly per year. So you're looking at, in excess of 3 years to become successful, and you're gonna consider this. Hey, do I have 3 years to give to learn this, or I don't? Do I wanna go through the hustles, or I don't? Um, I'm gonna try and simplify the thumbnail on the videos to be just a little more clear to read, maybe make it a bit more lighter. So what that does is you can look at specific times when I had learned something good, and maybe when I had a good week turnover, as in when I made some good choices in trading and I made a profitable balance. And then at least you can pick and see what the ultimate goal will be, that looking at my failures and my wins, you can avoid having such a long time to learn trading. And I'll be honest to you, it's really, really hard doing it on your own. Really, 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 really hard. I wish I had a bunch of friends that are open-minded like myself, and just go together and do it together, learn together, be successful together. But I don't have it. So I really, really, really hope eventually this page is gonna take off. We're getting 0 views basically, just so you know. This is week week 3, sorry, because I missed one. And we're getting fuck all views, so it'll probably be a little bit later into the piece when things is gonna start changing, when I'm gonna probably have more videos and just more successful content. Right now it's all boring. Nobody's pushing this, nobody's sharing, so it's probably just my friends, so-called friends, that's watching. Sorry if you are my friend and you're watching. But yeah, it is interesting. It is interesting. So let's just get back into it, because I can talk a lot about this shit for nothing. So URSD, it's doing its thing. I'm not going to waste my time yet doing any analysis. I'm glad that it's doing what we said it's doing, and I can now see that it had a great push, and I can see that it's rejected the areas just like I thought. I can see also that I was thinking for a potential bearish, but we did not receive that signal, so I could have easily placed a trade on this, but anyway, I didn't. Euro USD. Now this beauty is the one that I minus $1.1 million. That sounds like a lot, but hey, it's fake money, so who cares? The most important thing is the learnings, the lessons that we're learning. Now I can see this has had a big push, then I can see we changed bearish, we stayed bearish and keep on going bearish, and then we reached this area of interest, which was a weekly and a daily. And I decided that I'm gonna buy for whatever reason. For whatever reason, I said I'm gonna buy, and I buy, and then boy is pushed to the bottom. It's pushed like a bitch. I don't even think this is at the bottom yet. I just don't think so. Looking at shit. Looking at this, we are already below this point. So we've broken below this point. I don't know. I'm really, really skeptical because the next stop, if it's not reacting from this, it's gonna be here. So I'm on minus a million now. It's probably gonna be minus 2 million. And if it decides to not keep this and be minus 3 million, minus 4 million, 5 million and zero. Yeah. So listen, learn. Very, very important. Do not enter to market. If you enter to market, be prepared to lose your money. Yeah. So I wanted to try and see how long it's gonna take. Now that account I showed in the past, I had plenty successful tries, and I made heaps of profitable, not profitable, heaps of money. I'm gonna show this again because you may be new here. So this is that $5 million account. Hopefully you can see. See, everything is blue. And what I mean by that is all wins, 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 wins. All of them are to market. All of these entries. Now, what happened? This is the last trade, and the last trade did not go as planned. But I decided to hold, and this is not the first time I'm holding. So, am I a moron for holding? Yes, because when you hold a trade, you tell yourself that, hey, you've done such a good job at doing the analysis of this market, and you know exactly what's going to happen, and you should not doubt yourself. So it's gonna turn, it's gonna turn, it's gonna turn. And it's so much down now that even if I wanted to stop, to exit, something inside of me is saying, nah, it's gonna turn, it's gonna turn, it's gonna turn. And it's been like this since minus 50,000, minus 100,000, minus 200,000. Every time I thought it's gonna turn, it's gonna turn. The worst this has ever been was minus 350. Not this particular trade, but this account. The worst it has been was minus 375,000. And that trade, it reversed. It went back up in profit. I exited with money. And I did exactly the same with this. Keep holding, keep holding, keep holding. And now this trade, the worst it has been was minus 1.37 million. And now it's finally coming right. And what I mean by that, it's just I gained back $200,000. So, but yeah, it's probably not gonna recover. So we'll see when this one ends, and we're gonna have the lessons then, and hopefully, hopefully I will stop playing with the fire on the demo accounts with entering to market, because that is really, really bad. You should not enter to market. That will screw you, screw me, screw everybody. So unless you are a billionaire and you just want to play with it because it doesn't matter to you, I don't recommend doing it. Anyhow, looking at this, we'll just keep watching. I don't even have an area of interest to see reaction at this point, but I'm not gonna mark it. I said no analysis, so we're just moving on. AUDJPY. AUDJPY. What is happening at 4 hourly? Because we're normally looking at 4 hourly. And pending a bullish move. That's a comment. Pending a bullish move. We were obviously here. We were consolidating. Blah, 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 blah. And that's how bullish it went. It went right down. You know, bullish. What is bullish? What is the bullish signal for you, Ricky? Yeah, so clearly not. Clearly not. And just going to daily just for the sake of it. It's frozen. Like me now. It's so cold. It's minus, not minus. This New Zealand doesn't go to minus unless you're at the mountain. It's about 7 degrees. In the morning, we wake up with like 5 mil of frost on the windshield of the cars. Oh, come on, buddy. Don't crush. Okay. That's good. All right, so just looking at daily. Daily. Clearly, daily is bearish. And it was bearish. It was full on bearish. So, I don't know. I was expecting this to go up. I don't. I guess the way I was looking at it back then when this was here, it just came back up. It didn't hold down here. It came up, rejected the area of interest and the EMA, but didn't hold either, and just went down. I need to look at this a lot more closer because the the reality is this had a big push to the upside, and now it's kind of reached a consolidation area, and you can do two things. You can keep on going up or just do some gibberish, which is like the sideways movement. But yeah, interesting. Interesting. So it'll be interesting to look at this when we do the market analysis and see what's up with it. AUD CAD, it's consolidating. So beautiful. I have no comments here. For whatever reason, I didn't put them down. I think it's that week we just started doing the comment. I'm gonna keep doing that from now on anyway, because it does make sense when you look at it. I might even put a vertical line when I put the comments from, so at least we know exactly, hey, this candle here is where the comments are from onwards. Anyway, yeah, nothing to look at here. I said that it was going to go. This is bad. I'm gonna fall asleep soon. This is where I left it at. I've marked this roughly from this to go up and have a rejection, but it did not happen. So I am one of those things. One of those things. Anyway, nothing to see. GBP CAD will be the last one. And hey, look, a good one. So I would say we had 3 good ones, 1, 2, 3, and then heaps of bad ones. So let's say the bad ones. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So out of 10, 3 were good and 3 were decently good. If those trades were taken, we would have been in some serious money. I mean, look at this one now. This is 1, 2, 4 roughly, because this is too big anyway. We're usually going there. So 1 to 4, 1 to 7, 1 to 8. So I would have made, let's say, roughly $50 each at risk, and we made roughly 400. I would have made 400 plus 400 plus 400. That's $1,200, and I would have lost 7 times 50. How much is that? Sorry, guys, I can't think with my brain without using this. Oops, see, 7 times 50. So we would have lost $350, and we would have made 1,200 bucks. So minus $1,200, we would have had a profit of 850 bucks. Yeah, that's why everybody's saying, and everybody's saying consistency is what makes you successful. You know, not winning all the time, but just being consistent. I mean, look, only 3 trades I got right, and those 3 trades would have had the potential to make so much money in the last 2 weeks. So eye opener. I mean, worst case, you break even. You make 350, you lose 350. Great. You have experience. You learn. You look at that, look at this. But if you do nothing, you make nothing. I mean, you're still learning. Still learning. But it is better learning emotions when it's real money. And so that's my biggest push. Start trading with real money. It has been hard, I must say. It has been. I have been avoiding it because I don't know, it's real money. I don't want to lose my money, right? I want to make sure that when I enter in a trade, I make money. I don't lose. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna take a nap, okay? I'm joking. But yeah, it does happen. You're gonna fall on your desk. You're gonna sleep. I can see a tiny trend line here, but clearly nothing happened. Now we reached this key level here. Now this is a little bit of analysis. I would say if this does get as high as this, it's potential that we're gonna see a reversal. So there you go. Opportunities for next week. Next on our list, not that we ever play with this, but let's have a look at the SpaceX shares. I haven't looked at it in ages. 4 hourly. Oh my god, look at that. It started at, I think it's the starting point right here, $172. It went down to 160,000 and then all the way to $225. And after that big drop to $147, and now it's back up to 170, which is very close to where it started. Now, if you're looking at Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn, everywhere you look about SpaceX, everybody's putting memes with Elon Musk crying and his $1 trillion company is now worth billion. I mean, it's worth millions only. I'm like, guys, like, shut the front door, man. The guy's amazing. He's obviously smarter than probably most of us. And, and he's obviously at the markets at the markets. People have their own agendas. They know what they're doing and how they're making it. That psychological number, very important. People are into this one to make money. And this is not the retailers, this is big dogs, people with billions of dollars, not millions, and they buy millions of shares at once. Anyway, I don't even know how to read it, so I'm using it as a spacer here, so I know what's good to what's bad. Not bad, but let's say good, better opportunities. GBP USD. This would have been an absolute disaster if I was to take it, but this was such a bad trade that I never really want to take it. GBP USD is currently going to consolidate further. Now that was obviously, we were at the bottom when I said that. This is for hourly, I lie. So, okay. So my comment was for this area, consolidation. Okay, so let's just go back to the 4 hourly. So it was actually consolidating here. And I was waiting for a signal. Now the signal clearly never came as bullish. It came as bearish. But I was expecting a buy. So clearly I did not pay enough attention. Often I start now to see it when you have a bearish market. It's going to be bearish and then it's consolidating with pullbacks and shit. Consolidating and then it's going to carry on bearish because it was bearish. That's all it is. If I go to daily, all of that nonsense, say from here, bearish, pullback, consolidation, bearish continuation. I can see my hands. See? It's crazy, right? So these are my hairlines. These are those lessons that the more you look at it, the more you understand, the more it makes sense, and I'm actually proud of where I'm at. I think probably in another 5 months, I'm gonna be a lot more better. And this is looking great. This is looking absolutely great. I can see rejection here is possibly gonna turn and go back up. But we're not gonna do analysis, we're just gonna look at what it is, and that's it. What we missed, opportunities, everything that I haven't seen, basically I'm looking at it now. And we are 43 minutes in, which is not bad at all. Okay, now GBP JPY, unclear. Keep an eye out for it. The heck, I was really tired. What's unclear? Okay, so I guess what I was looking at was, or not looking at, but waiting for a break and retest. But the reality of things is that this whole market has been bullish. So what did I just say before about being bullish, having a pullback, consolidation, bullish, consolidation, pullback, consolidation, pullback, and consolidation, probably not push. So I would say that you would probably, I'm not doing analysis today, but probably we're going to see rejection of this area of interest and a push to the upside. everything is bullish, as we can already see. However, the lower time frame, 30 minutes and 1 hour, the candles is red color, but we can also see red color here on daily, so as monthly. Now, I know the ideal trade has got all candles same color. When all candles are the same color and the trend is aligned and you are at the area of interest with rejection, that is a guaranteed trade. I have seen it happen. In fact, when I designed this indicator, to tell you a secret, when I designed this indicator, I went on the replay, and every single time that everything here was red or everything here was blue, and I put a trade that was 1-to-1, it was a successful trade. Like 9 times out of 10. So I believed that I don't need area of interest, I don't need market structure, I need nothing. I believe that if everything is the same color, I can get the 1-to-1 trade. So I thought, shit, I nailed it. But it was short-lived because it wasn't as easy, because sometimes you get a red candle, but it's like a micrometer, you know? It shows red, but it isn't. So as in it's not there for long, so it changes to blue or whatever. So I realized that it mattered very much, but what was most important was the location. If you were in the middle of the market doing its thing, doing gibberish, for example, it was really bad time to do the color game. Having no areas of interest, bad thing. Having not having at least the EMA, or not having the understanding the trend, if it's bullish or bearish, not good. But having now the areas of interest marked, understand the market structure, the market leg, the active leg, what is it, bearish, bullish, does daily and weekly align, does weekly and monthly align, or does daily and 4-hourly align, and then add the color to it, it's a very good confluence. I really, really like it. So yeah, that's something that we're gonna keep an eye on. But yeah, this trade right now, it's just doing its thing. You know, clearly I was wrong. It was not gonna go bullish yet, but I believe it's probably going to become bullish very shortly. We are rejecting this area of interest, and in fact, I can see we have got 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. Unless these stars come below to like reject from below and go down, I don't see this going bearish. It would most likely be a bullish push. And that's it. That's our possible entries. What else we have here? Watch list. It's exactly the same. Live, I had these two, which we talked about. What is it? Alex. Now, Alex, this was Athena, so it's most of the stuff that I have through anyway. There's no point going through that. But yes, guys, thank you for watching. This is 1st of the 7th, 2026. I'm not sure when you're going to watch this video, but if I'm already successful and you're watching this video, I can just say it's not easy right now, but I'm positive that I'm gonna have a breakthrough in the future, and I'm gonna be successful, and so as you. If there is anything you can take from these videos, you know, would be free for you to take, and I'll also come and ask me questions. If you're seeing this video when I'm successful, I'm sure I'm not gonna ignore you. But yeah, I think it's for certain. Every time in my life I wanted something and I give it my very best, I have got it. And you know, I'm not necessarily referring to big things, but I always wanted to have my own business, and finally, after 15 years of wanting, it happened. You know, but it happened not because I wanted it to, but I manifested it so much, and then when the opportunity came, I decided that I was just gonna do it. It just happened that the company I used to work for, they hired a senior project manager. I was obviously in a construction company. Over myself, I was the project manager at the time, but I was pretty young, motivated. I had lots to do, $350 million project. And the way they pitched that to me was different than the way it happened. And I felt, I didn't feel good. I felt sad and heartbroken. And I said, you know what? This is my time. I am leaving. So I resigned. Yeah, and I resigned and I started my company, and I made more money starting my company than I ever made working for them. And just to put in perspective, after the 15 years of working for the same company, I basically turned over $1 million, New Zealand dollars. So $1 million in 15 years is fuck all. It's nothing. And out of that, pay tax, pay fuel, pay food, pay. I have zero savings. So if you have a day-to-day job, 9 to 5 or whatever it is, 7 to 5, and you've been thinking about doing this, I honestly think it's worth it. Or if you had the business in your mind and you wanted to do it, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Honestly, I'm looking at myself. I'm, let's say, a lazy business owner. I don't mean lazy from not working, but I work so much with my hands, with my body. I'm on site. I have a lot of subcontractors and I use labor only stuff, but I you just find yourself trying to save here, save there. So you're just gonna go on site. You're gonna do this yourself, do this yourself, do this. It's mostly small sites, renovations and things. But there's so much more to do, so much more to do from that point of view. And I think key to success is delegating, not doing it yourself. And that's exactly what I cannot do. It's like, oh fuck. I need to get out of it, just get out of it and delegate, employ people. It looks like you're not going to make money, but the reality is if I would stay here every day in the office and focus on advertising and seeing clients and get the jobs coming, it would be so much more work. And I know that, like, be in charge of social media every day, post, go on sites, take videos, take photos, talk to people, create trust in your brand, in your business. There's obviously lots of businesses doing renovations. There's lots of businesses fully established. If I can position myself as the new guy, but the motivated guy, the guy that's gonna give you 150%, I will be more successful for sure. But yeah, I I don't even know. I don't even know why I'm saying all these, because of course I sound bad and I sound crazy. It's just that you will see when you are in my shoes. It's just hard. It's I would say the biggest factor is the the insecurity of not having enough money to pay the mortgage, right? And the rates and the food and all that. Doing what I said, employing people and delegating and staying in front of the computer, spending money on ads, and that it just may not show rewards straight away. It will be a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice before you can see the reward. But do that for a year, barely scrape by, and you will definitely have an amazing 3, 5, 10, 15 years, and you can sell your business for a lot of money. But doing it the way I do it, like slow grind, what people call organically in this, is just not as financially healthy as it should be. And after 4 years, I I'm probably reaching $5 million in turnover, which is not a bad number, but the profit is where it lies. Yes, I made $5 million, but the reality is I probably just kept 500,000 for myself for the for salaries and shit. Everything else is materials and whatever for the clients. Um, because you're the small guy, there's so much competition. You just have to be cheaper, unfortunately, until you get enough jobs, enough reviews, and all of that. So it's gonna be hard. I mean, look, this is my first 4 years. Hopefully, the next 4 years will be amazing, and hopefully, trading can pump a bit of money in. I can start advertising for my construction work. I don't mind having the company, even if trading is successful. I would love to be able to do this from anywhere in the world and still have my construction company, like a circle that happens by itself, have people employed to do things, QSs, project managers, you name it. But yeah, look, the bottom line is don't give up. Don't give up on your dreams. This is me dreaming, The business is not a dream anymore, it is reality, but it is not easy, it's hard, which is why I thought trading, sounded so easy. You're gonna make so much money so quickly. Honest to God, I thought I was gonna be a At least, by now I thought I was gonna have 300-400 grand in my bank account. That's and now remember I started in February, but it's not the case. It's not the case, and it's hard work, hard work. It is a gamble. It is a gamble, of course, but the reality is, you can actually gamble, like educated gamble. You can be educated when you gamble this. You understand why you're making a move, and if you're wrong with that move, you have a set amount of money that you lose. And I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet, but I am adjusting myself. I'm learning. I'm getting there, and this is why this should help me improve. And I can definitely see that, in the few months, or sorry, weeks that I have been doing this, I'm speaking a little bit more freely. My ideas are coming to my head, they're flowing. I'm looking at the charts, I'm speaking to you guys, I can interact, I feel more comfortable, which is why I encourage you to do the same. Nobody's watching these videos. It's, I don't care, but I am getting better. I'm getting better. And if you're one of the guys that's watching, good on you. You will get better too, I promise you. But for now, it's enough. I don't want to waste your time anymore. This is my journal. I can probably go on and on and on. So yeah, for now, thanks for hanging in. This week's, unfortunately, again, is going to be my second week with no trades. Second week, what I mean by that is, it's probably more like 4 weeks since I haven't actually placed a real money trade, but I missed last week, and now this is going to be the second week that I'm going to miss. Now, last week I missed it completely. I wasn't even looking at the market. Now, this week, I literally missed it from just readjusting, coming back to work, back to Auckland. I have so many jobs up here that I have to do, and I haven't finished, and I'm pricing work, and you name it. But anyway, remember, when you decide to do this, you're either very young and you're just really motivated to do it. You have someone else paying for your mortgage, someone else paying for your rent, or whatever it is. You may be with your mates, with your friends, flatmating, whatever the case is. The younger you are, no family, no kids, the easier it is to do it. But even then, you will still probably have to get a job, be there every day, try and do good for that. And this is going to become hard. So just keep grinding. Don't be disheartened. Just, choose the time wisely for you. The younger you are, and I mean, not necessarily the younger, but, the younger in, let's say, in a family point of view, being by yourself, it's easier taking that time to do it. When you are with a partner, or you are with kids and stuff, you have to give them time. When you even have a business, you have to be there all the time and look after your customers, after your clients. And I'm telling you, trading takes a lot of time to get hold of and understand it. I mean, February, March, April, May, June, 5 months gone by, and it's still not clear for me. And that's 5 fucking months. It makes sense, but it's still a strange language to me. It's like I don't understand it to fullest. And it's 5 months. But give me another 5 months, I'm gonna know twice as much as I know now, at least. And give me another 10 months, I'll be twice as much as in the next 5 months, right? So watch this space. Watch me prove if trading can change my life. And hopefully it can. Then it can change yours and your friends and so on. But thanks for watching. And remember, there's no editing going on. Don't be harsh in the comments. If you have lessons for me, please let me know in the comments. If you have questions, let me know. I'll try and answer them. And yeah, for anything else, just stay put and keep watching. Thank you and have a lovely week. And I will see you Sunday night or Monday morning. This is New Zealand time. I'll see you with another video then. Almost an hour. Just need to wait another 30 seconds. So we reached exactly 60 minutes. I'm joking. Anyway, see you later.